What are you trying to get out of using Tinder?
That's a good question. Honestly, I don't really use it very much. I use it mostly because my best friend and her roommate use it a lot, and sometimes I'm over there, and I get like peer pressured into using it almost. I don't know. I guess I'm new to Boston, so it like would be a good way to meet new people theoretically.
Yeah. Do you believe we've become a hookup culture?
I think to some degree we have. I think it's a loaded question, and a lot of people look at our generation and are really, really quick to say that we've become a hookup culture and that we don't know how to maintain real, serious, stable relationships. And I don't think that's true. I know a lot of people who have been in serious relationships that have worked out, and but I do think that the hookup culture is more prevalent, and I think that's because we have stuff like Tinder and that makes it so easily accessible, and because it's more of a social norm, more people are willing to do it, and there are fewer risks involved, I think.
Do you think Tinder is only for a younger generation?
I think it's more applicable to a younger generation. I don't think it's only for a younger generation. I know people who are in their 30s who are on there, which is a little bit sketchy. But I think because this generation is so experienced with social media and all that stuff, it makes more sense for us to be on Tinder, and we just know how to work it better. And like you were saying before about the hookup culture, I do think that's more prevalent in our generation. So I would not say exclusively for younger people, but as a younger person, I think it is sketchy when I see older people on there, so maybe.
Why did you download Tinder?
I downloaded Tinder at the suggestion of one of my roommates, who told me that it's a great way to meet new people and have fun on your phone.
Okay, how often do you use it?
I use Tinder, I don't know, once or twice a day.
Okay. Would you have downloaded Tinder a year ago?
No.
Why not?
Because I only downloaded it because my friends started downloading it and we all started having fun with it together. And a year ago, that probably wouldn't have happened.
Okay. How often do you use Tinder?
I use it maybe like once or twice a day.
Have you met anyone off Tinder?
No?
Do you find Tinder useful for this current generation?
Useful?
Yeah.
Um,
In terms of meeting new people, in terms of dating?
yeah, I guess so. It's like useful because, I don't know, it depends on like how much you're putting into it and if you're like what you want to get out of it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Do you think Tinder is only for a younger generation?
No, and they have like age settings, so if you're older and want to only see matches for older people, you can set it up like that.
Okay. So when would you find it appropriate to initiate an in-person meeting off Tinder?
Appropriate? I don't know. It's weird because it feels like you're texting with someone, but it's someone that you've never met before and that you really have no idea anything about them. So it is kind of tough to judge when you actually have an idea of who's on the other side.
How often have you been using Tinder?
How often?
Yeah.
I think I've done probably like 4 or 5 sessions of just going through people.
By sessions, do you mean like you're sitting?
Yeah, like I
In the
just sit
living
on my
room.
bed and just go through people.
Okay.
And I probably do it for, I don't know, 15. I try to, it's addicting once you get started going to try and just go until you get a match.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'll stop when I get a match.
Yeah.
But sometimes that can take a really long time.
Okay. And what are you trying to get out of using it?
What do you think?
What? There's other people have different priorities. That's why I'm asking you.
I don't know. I guess like best case scenario. Best case scenario, meet some cool chick.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say. You should ask the question that you're really trying to ask. Like, are you just looking for sex? That's the question you're trying to ask.
Well, I left it abstract for whatever.
But why didn't you just ask the question you wanted to ask?
Oh my god. Do you want to answer that?
Am I looking for just sex? No, I'm looking for a good date before sex.
Oh God. Have you met anyone off Tinder yet?
I've messaged a couple people, but I haven't met anybody
Okay.
in person.
So, do you take it seriously, or is it more just for entertainment and for fun?
50-50, but I get the impression that most people are just using it for entertainment and fun.
Yeah.
Because you get a lot of matches, and then you try to message people and
Right.
be nice, but then they just don't message you back.
Okay.
So you get the feeling
Yeah.
that they're just kind of...
Has anyone messaged you first?
Yeah. Yeah, this one girl who goes to the school, but I think she's just kind of...
Is it a joke, or is it...
No,
Okay.
no, I don't think it's a joke. I think
Right.
she's honestly just kind of looking for friends, and she doesn't speak English very well, so... I
Ah, okay.
What else is I gonna say? Maybe we'll get a chance to
Okay.
get back to it.
Do you find Tinder useful for this current generation?
Yes, I do. I mean, there's still... Even though we're trying to confront all of the gender stereotypes for men and women, the one that seems to remain is the idea that the guy needs to be the one who
Right.
approaches the girl in the bar at the party or whatever. And obviously that instantly sets a dynamic where, you know, the guy is the person who's in charge of the interaction.
Right.
So, I don't know, it kind of evens the playing field a little bit. I think.
Okay. As a male, you find that this evens the playing field for you? Like, you have to make less of an initiative?
No, I think it's good for the generation as a whole because it kind of evens the playing field for ladies a little bit.
Okay, gotcha. I see what you mean.
But I don't know. It's I'm not the guy who's constantly, hitting on people at bars. Sometimes, not always.
Okay.
So I don't know. It helps out the people who never do it, I guess.
Yeah.
But the people who are always doing it, I guess they don't have any reason to. I don't know.
Okay, so it's just easier for people who are usually more seclusive.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Gotcha.
And it's also easier for the people who aren't.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it is just easier for everybody. But is easier better? I don't know.
How invested and are you even aware of a thing called the hookup culture? Because it is
yeah.
a thing and it's an actual
Yeah.
term.
I know that it's an actual term. I know that it's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't always agree with like calling it a culture because that kind of implies that it's a coordinated group of people.
Okay. Okay.
There's definitely like the seduction community. That's a coordinated group of people.
Right.
But I don't think that hookup culture is a coordinated group of people. But
Okay.
it is definitely a phenomenon that I'm aware of. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And do you believe we've become part of this phenomenon purely or no?
Yeah.
As in, do you
What?
think younger generations only want to hook up and only have casual sex, or that's just part of a phenomenon? Or...
I think that there are two types of people. I think that there are people who really just want to hook up just for attention for a brief moment. And I mean, honestly, I think that's how a lot of relationships start. I think it starts out as just kind of a hookup, but then people realize that, you know, there's something nice about having somebody else make you feel significant for half a second.
Right.
So, I don't know. I think it's a good thing. I think it's kind of weird nowadays to do the whole like unconsummated love, go on a million dates before you finally do anything with somebody. It just doesn't seem to work.
Right.
I've had relationships with people where you just go on a bunch of dates and nothing ever happens. It's just lame and awkward after a little while. So
Okay. So would you have downloaded Tinder a year ago?
a year ago, I'm trying to think of where I was at a year ago. What do you mean more in terms of like what Tinder was a year ago, the reputation of Tinder, how popular it was, or
well, just it's sort of grown this past year. So would you have downloaded a year ago when it
I definitely
was less popular?
I definitely heard of it a year ago,
Right.
but I think it's way more depends on where people are in their life.
Right.
You know? It depends on what people are looking for. Yeah.
Okay. And do you think Tinder is only for a younger generation?
Yes. I mean, I don't know. It's just I think a lot of I don't know. I'm basing my answer to it just on how I would think that somebody like my parents would would use it, which just wouldn't happen.
Right.
I don't know. Or maybe they would. I don't know. They're kind of less wary of strangers on the internet sometimes. I have no clue.
Well, a lot of people in the older generation now use, OkCupid or dating
Yeah.
websites, but what do you think would make them be offended by Tinder?
Tinder's really the same thing at the end of the day, isn't
Right,
it?
yeah.
The only difference is, unlike the other dating websites that kind of disguise themselves as like, finding your real match or whatever. That as if there's something more to it than just looking at the pictures.
Right.
Tinder just kind of acknowledges the
Right.
fact that all anybody's been doing this entire time is looking at the pictures.
Okay, so it's more straight to the point.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And when would you find it appropriate to initiate an in-person meeting off Tinder?
I don't know. That's hard. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay.
I've only had a couple conversations with people. I don't know. It's hard to say whether... if I had to break it down, I'd say most people are just kind of looking for entertainment. Just this is what I wanted to say earlier. It really is this weird kind of voyeurism. Just being able to look at strangers and then be able to say whether they're hot or not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say most people are on it just for entertainment, and then I'm sure there is a small group of people who are just looking for a hookup that day, even though I think that's a very small thing. And then I think there is a group of people who are using it kind of more as a conventional dating type thing.
Okay.
I would say that the largest majority, though, are just entertaining themselves.
Yeah.
And kind of getting a kick out of rejecting, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just having the power.
So something about the power. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's sort of about gaining self-confidence.
Oh, yeah, it's
Yeah.
a total ego thing.
Okay, gotcha.
It's about, that's what I would say. It's about, yeah, totally. It's about you saying who is hot and who's not hot. Even though most people look average, pretty much everybody you look at is the same type of picture,
Okay.
the same type of thing, right? But you get to decide who's hot and who's not.
So it gets
And
a
then-
little... Okay.
I don't know. It's weird. I'm just thinking about it just now.
Huh. It didn't occur to you that it could be just purely for an ego boost?
No, because I think I was enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know. It really. See, okay. Here's the thing. No, for a guy, I think it's very dangerous because it kind of feeds into the power, I guess, dynamic where guys for some reason have this attraction to like being able to be super powerful when it comes to saying who's hot, who's not, who likes me, who
Right.
doesn't like me. But on the other hand, I guess it gives that to ladies. They're doing the same thing
Right.
on the other end. So, hey, I don't know. No, for a guy, I think it's very dangerous because it kind of feeds into the power, I guess, dynamic where guys for some reason have this attraction to like being able to be super powerful when it comes to saying who's hot, who's not, who likes me, who
Right.
doesn't like me. But on the other hand, I guess it gives that to ladies. They're doing the same thing
Right.
on the other end. So, Hey, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right, there we go. You got your
Front
picture.
one. Got my surfing selfie.
Cool.
Right, that's number one.
Okay.
Right? Says I'm a cool, active guy. Right.
Right.
Maybe a lone soul that needs saving or something.
Okay.
Right?
One in your
Fun
kitchen.
social shop.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that I'm holding the phone.
Okay.
Because
okay.
it looks like, oh, this is what I look like right now. This is what I'm doing.
Okay. What is this one?
That's
you and a
me.
fish.
What? No, that's me at the top of Mount Washington.
Oh, okay. So
Or
it's
near
just
the top of
okay.
Mount
Did you
Washington.
very selectively pick these, or?
Kind of, I tried to like do active ones,
Okay.
social ones, kind of stuff like
Gotcha.
that. Headshots, full body shots. What? Oh, this is just kind of more of a headshot, I guess.
Okay.
Because I feel like I look like I have a double chin in this one, so I felt like I don't know. I don't have a double chin in that one.
All right.
Surfing shot, right?
Okay, gotcha.
Little bod shot, I guess.
Okay.
Not too close though. Oh yeah.
Wow, you have a lot of photos on there.
No, I have the max. I think it's 6 photos. or
Okay,
something.
gotcha.
Yeah, and then me drinking out of the kickball trophy.
Okay.
Shows I'm a winner.
That's-
I like that.
All right, and do you have?
I actually worked on the description for
Okay,
a while.
will you read it to us?
I had a whole thing written out before, but then I ran it past my roommate, and he was like, "Yeah, it sounds like you're trying too hard."
Okay.
So
you purposely
so
edited.
I just put on a little sentence, which is probably the greatest quote I've ever thought of. It just says, "Go to go, don't go to have gone."
Okay, where did you hear that, or?
I made that up,
Gotcha.
but it sounds like somebody important said it.
All right, all right. And did you put any interests on there, or?
It just links with your Facebook, so
Okay.
it pretty much the only big interests I have are the school.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's been the only shared interest you have with
Yeah,
most
maybe I
people.
should broaden my interests. On
Do you think
Facebook.
that would help? Or-
I don't know. I don't know what people look at it.
Okay, gotcha.
I have no clue.
So when you are assessing people's profiles, do you look at their little blurb and scroll through their photos, or are you instant yes no?
Depends on what mood I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
and it depends on what they look like. Obviously, super pretty people get a yes right away.
Okay.
You know, I kind of ignore the average people. Not that they're bad looking or anything like that, but like we were talking about, they're just kind of boring.
Okay.
But then if people are kind of have a weird edginess going on in their photos, the photos I always look at first, but if somebody kind of has a weird edginess going on, then I look at the description to see
What is weird edginess?
you know, maybe they've got like a picture of a Polaroid picture as their main thing, or maybe
Okay.
they have some, you know, asymmetric haircut or some crazy haircut, which I dig. I totally
Okay.
dig all of it, but you got to check to see what they're saying. If they have some super sobby emotional thing in their description, probably gonna get a no. But if they just sound like some cool person, I don't know.